Hello! Welcome back to another Tech Ambrosia stream. How's everybody doing? Hope the week has been alright. Hope the weekend is also treating you okay. We're back with another one. It is me. It is me. Once again, on your airwaves. I guess we don't do airwaves anymore, do we? Are those even a thing? I know the analog channel shut down, but are we still like broadcasting digital TV over the air? I don't think so. Anyway, we got folks here already. Look at this. Tiny Toy Dragon is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Trina's Technobabble. Hello, welcome. Everything's Broken Garage. Evening. I guess in certain parts of the country it would be evening. Welcome, welcome. Gutbomb is here. Hello. And yes, digital over-the-air TV is still a thing. Awesome. Fantastic. That's true. Gutbomb says, plus you're on my home Wi-Fi, and those are airwaves. That's true. That's true. That's true. John is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Oh, that's true. Tiny Toy Dragon says, mobile data also works. I guess if you have an unlimited plan, you could stream me. It seems like a terrible waste of those bits, but you know, I'm honored that I'm here chewing up your phone plan. Thank you. Oh. It has been a week, y'all. It has been a week. Hello, Mavunky is here. I've upgraded to physical copper waves. Excellent. Yes, physical copper waves are the past and also the future. I'm a fan. It's tough to get interference on copper wires. It's possible, but it's tough. Much harder than it is to get interference on 2.4 gigahertz. John says it's been a week indeed. Yeah, no, I've had a wild week. Ups and downs, big ups and big downs. Let's see what has been going on. Oh yeah, no, my workplace is fully embracing AI, which is awful. I'm just thankful that I am extremely knowledgeable in all of the products that we sell, so I can continue to make myself indispensable. Because otherwise, I'm starting to fluff my resume because it's feeling like it's about time. Oh boy. But you know, personal life's been going pretty well. I'm still working on this space. I still have all this stuff back here to take care of. Let me drop my socials so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, this corner of the room is earmarked for like a product display area where I can do some filming of things that I'm taking a look at. And as you can see, it still has a whole bunch of stuff in the way. But that's going to change. You can see I've got this is my VR chair. It's one of those video game chairs from like the 90s. It's in your friend's basement. They still sell them. I picked one up new. It's been great for doing VR, and I can just like splay out in VR in full body tracking, lay on the floor with it. And then also this maroon object here in the corner is a gym mat, like an actual gym mat you'd find in like a college gymnasium. They also sell those new to just anybody who wants to buy them, and they're excellent. I can unfold that, and it takes up all of the walkable space in this room, and I can stand in VR for extended periods of time. I can lay down, run around. Be the big bitey creature in VR that I like to be on the weekends. So it's been good. Personal life's been going well. Work life has been, at least I'm still employed. I've still got that. But we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about this. Huh? Yeah. Let's put it on the desk cam and have a look at it, hey? It is quite the beast. Switch over to the desk cam. Look at that thing. This, there's not a whole lot that I know about this. It arrived to me in this condition. No box. It did at least have the cord with it, thankfully. And it's mostly undamaged. It's just a little bit sun yellowed. And of course I've got a nice big product number. As far as I can tell, this is an original Intuos. An original Wacom Intuos. And this is the ADB version for Macintosh, for classic Macintoshes. when this is from 1998, and when they released these, they released a serial version for PCs, they released a USB version for PC and Mac, and they released an ADB version, which is what this is. Being from 1998, it was actually kind of a pain to get drivers for it, especially for what I'm going to run it on, which is my Macintosh Quadra 600, which is my Centris 610 in a custom 3D printed case, because by 1998, I mean they had explicit instructions in their README about getting this to work, or about getting an Intuos to work with an iMac. So at this point, the iMac had come out, and that's what people were trying to use these with. So I think this is basically the last tablet that you could use with the classic Mac, and I did manage to get it working, thankfully. The drivers you need for these, if you want to do this yourself, if you want to grab an ADB Intuos, original Intuos, is you need driver version 4.5. It's available on the Garden, but at least for me, you got to go grab the CD, put it on your Blue SCSI, and then mount it inside your OS, because there's like 3 or 4 other downloads in there that the person who uploaded it was helpful enough to pull out the installer for the driver, and didn't do it correctly, and none of them unzipped for me correctly on my classic Mac. So I may re-upload that. I may re-upload that after the stream, since I can now pull the actual driver install out and put it up there separately. I may just do that after stream. Anyway, once you do that, once you actually get it, it's a CD for oh boy, I think Deniba Canvas or something like that. Maybe Painter, maybe Corel. It's not Corel Paint. It's maybe Deniba Painter. I don't remember. But the important part is that there's a dedicated Wacom driver installed portion on the disk. It's like a folder for Wacom drivers. They install version 4.5, works with 68K and PowerPC, and it does actually work with this tablet. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to get these drivers to work with this tablet. There's super little documentation on this thing online, surprisingly. Especially if you go and search Wacom's site, this specific model, the GD0608A for ADB, there's nothing. There's nothing. You can get information about the USB version, you can get information about the serial version. There's nothing about the ADB version. It's very annoying. Anyway, it does work. We got a few. Oh yeah, John's ADB Wacom. Yes, exactly. Yep, I will do that. I'll do that after the stream. I'll re-upload those drivers so that they work compressed on this Mac, on this vintage Mac. Gutbomb says, your streams are why we pay for those bits. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. Mevunky's AI will blow over and settle in. Should be okay. I mean, I just hope that, the whole glut of AI slop from LLMs doesn't completely destroy all the, actual competent things, the things that AI is actually good at, with machine learning and stuff like that. I guess we'll see. But I know at least in my friends group, we're talking about the Butlerian Jihad already. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's get this thing booted up and running. Well, there we go, and just hit that start button, or the power button there. Bong. And you can see the tablet lights up with an amber LED right away. These are the classic Wacom batteryless pens, and if you touch it to the surface, the LED does change color. It's always a good sign. Always a good sign. So the driver loads basically at the end of all of your extensions. It's a control panel. It starts with a W, so it takes a while. There it is. It's loaded up. So we should have, yep, we've got stylus control now. And the stylus, so this is if you've never used a drawing tablet like this, it's not a screen. It's basically mapped 1-to-1 your display. So let me show you what I mean. If you take a look at, right, so we can see the tablet here in the lower left corner here on the desk cam. If I if I hold the pen and I move it around here, right? So you can see if I move it all the way to the left edge, it hits the left edge of the screen. If I move it all the way to the right edge, it hits the right edge of the screen. And like it is one-to-one mapped with the tablet itself. So like if I pick it up and I move the pen over, the mouse cursor snaps over to that area. That's how these things work. So it behooves you to use a drawing program where you can zoom and rotate your canvas and make your canvas as full screen as possible, because then you can make use of the most amount of space on the tablet itself for doing actual drawing. Let's see if we've got yeah, we got mouse control. How cool is that? You can move around windows with a pen. It's pretty all right. That is pretty all right. Those of you who were here for last week's stream where I showed off this system functioning might notice that our system software RAM usage is up by 1 megabyte from last time. We know that a stock install of System 7 Pro 7.1.1 takes about 2.5 megs of RAM. All of my weird extensions that I like to put in it that I demoed last week pushes it up to about 5.5 megs of RAM, and then installing the Wacom driver adds another megabyte on top of it. So that's it's kind of a tall order. They do say I think minimum compatibility for this thing is an SE or an SE30. I think probably for that extra amount of RAM over the Plus. No, you know what? Actually, probably because the ADB ports, because there's no ADB ports on a Plus. Never mind. Good luck, though. I mean, it should work. Supposedly it will work with OSs as low as, I think, 6.04. That might be a way to get get enough RAM back on a Plus or an SE to actually do something with the tablet. In this case, we've got 24 megabytes in the Centris. We're doing okay. We've got plenty of free space to do pretty much whatever we want with it. And I've got a few things installed I want to take a look at. Got Illustrator, Photoshop. I most especially I haven't installed any additional plugins for Photoshop, which means this may not actually pick up any pressure sensitivity. Hello, Chitlin's Laundry. Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're looking at some old tech. It turns out it's shockingly similar to current day tech, right? Like you hop on Amazon and you pick up like an XP Pen tablet or a Hawaiian or something. Works exactly the same way as this stuff. The nice part about Wacom's tech has always been that there's no batteries in the pens. So like you can pick up a new old stock, or not even new old stock, you can pick up an old pen for these old Intuoses, Cintiq, whatever, Art Z. You don't have to worry about a battery leaking inside the pen, because there isn't one. It's pretty neat. So let's make a new, I have no idea if this has any native support for Wacom. Let's see if there's anything in the preferences. Preferences. Do not see anything in here for input. Let's just see if it's in general, maybe. Not especially. Apologies. Let's see anything in there. Got some rulers. Gamut plugins, maybe? No? Well, I guess we'll find out. I would think 4.0 would be new enough to have some support for the tablet, but you never know. Let's grab a paintbrush. Let's make it not white, maybe. Oh yeah, look at that. We've got... Oh, the centers is a little pokey. Certainly trying, though. Look at it. Look at it try. Bunky says, that's 90s performance. It sure is. I mean, the Sentra 610 wasn't like a rapid performer by anyone's standards. Yeah, it's got a 68040 in it, and yes, I swapped this one, the LC040, and this one for a full 040, so we've got a floating point unit, but like, it's still only running at 20 megahertz, and the onboard video on the Sentra 610 was not known for its performance. That is funny. That is super funny. That's at 100% resolution scale. Yikes. We're not doing any scaling on that one. How is our RAM situation on this? It's not too bad. It's using all of its RAM. Okay, so let's just grab... Oh right, of course, it's in select menu. Select all. Let's toss that. And let's do the airbrush. Adorable. Select none. Grab a color. Mavunky says, can you jam faster clocked 040s in there? Not really. Not with the Sentra 610. There are a bunch of components on the board that are tied to its frontside bus clock, and there aren't any, as far as I know, there aren't any 68040s that have like a clock doubler in them. They all run at the bus clock. So if you have a 20 megahertz frontside bus, you have a 20 megahertz 040. And if you want to raise that frontside bus on this hardware specifically, like your serial ports start going too fast, and your Ethernet port starts going too fast, and there's a couple of other things that go a little too fast. Lets you turn it up to maximum. Now the thing is, and what I wasn't able to do before stream today, what I really kind of wanted to do, I did finally get my power supplies back from Big Bad Biologist, who very graciously recapped them for me. He's awesome. If you haven't seen any of his streams, go give him a sub. But I wanted to put, those power supplies are for a pair of Quadra 700s that I have, and I wanted to put one of my Quadras back together and try running it with this. I just ran out of time today, unfortunately. That should be a little bit faster. It's 20% faster on the clock. We've got a 25 megahertz 68040 there, but also its built-in video is quite a bit quicker than the Sentris is. Oh, Starbuck Tech is here. Hello, welcome. So let's get a color on here. So if I like purple. Anybody else like purple? I like purple. And I'll take let's get a good teal for our background color. Come on. There you go, Photoshop. You got this. Admittedly, this would run, like I said, the built-in video is not very fast. It would run faster if I put this into 256 color mode instead of running it in high color. A nice teal on the background. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We've got our airbrush selected. Let's do pressure multipliers 50%. We are going to do normal blending. What is our nozzle size? Stylus pressure, color or pressure? I wonder. Can we... Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. That's pretty cool. You just vary the color that comes out of it just by the pressure of the stylus. That's pretty great. Oh, that's too good. That's fun. So if we set it to pressure instead, we'll be painting in purple. There we go. Wow, you can really lay down some light coloration with the airbrush tool. Very nice. And if we do hard pressure, yep, nice and opaque. So this right here is why someone would have shelled out for, say, a Quadra 950, right? For a 33 megahertz 040 with very fast internal video. Although, considering this tablet works specifically with like the iMac, I do have a beige G3. I also have a PowerMac 8600 that I could use this with. That would be quite a bit snappier in Photoshop than this is. Still, that's pretty great. That is pretty great. Let's see what this does in Illustrator. I'd say it works 100% as expected in Photoshop. This unfortunately is just a pen. There's no like if you do it upside down, there's no eraser nib on this one. And there is Wacom did make this. Like I said, this is the first Intuos. Wacom did make a an airbrush pen that was it looked like this, but it also had like a control on the top and it had like a little a little fin on the bottom so you can hold it with your fingers a little more comfortably, and then you could actually airbrush that way, like with a button to airbrush instead of pressing onto the tablet. I kind of wish I'd gotten that pen because I think that would be pretty cool to try. But this does work. This does indeed work. That's pretty neat. It records all the strokes. It just takes a little time to render them. That's pretty great. That's awesome. All right, I'm curious to see what Illustrator does with this. Hey, there you go. Gutbomb says mine didn't come with a pen, but I bought a modern Intuos pen and it just worked. That's pretty cool. There is some like weird compatibility with these things. Like some pens, like some modern pens will work just fine with older tablets in the Wacom family, because Wacom's tech really hasn't changed that much in 30 years. Like, let's be honest. They mostly still use the same, inductive, capacitive, batteryless, sensor tech. John says maybe you should get you a Quadra Overdrive, a Neurotech Quadra Overdrive for my 610. It would be pretty great. That would be pretty great. And you can see now, like, why these upgrades and accelerators were so popular. So popular. Like, of course, just throw a card in your computer. You don't have to change any of your settings. You can keep all of your apps in place, and it just goes faster. The computer just goes faster. Come on, get the palette. Get the palette. Get it. Get it. It doesn't wanna. All right. Break out the mouse. It just didn't want to grab the palette. So you can move around the workspace by holding spacebar on this. Sorry about that. Sorry. God, how long have I been muted? Good Lord. Hello. Sorry about that. Please tell me I haven't been muted since I, like, muted to cough off screen. Well, not off screen, but did I never unmute from that? I bet I didn't, did I? Ah. So sorry. Yeah, no, it looks like, I would say, the tablet works perfectly in Photoshop, which, you know, shocker. That's mostly where you'd use it. That or like Canvas or Painter is where you would expect to use a tablet like this. But something that I like using these for is a vector program like Illustrator, where, no, admittedly, I'm looking at like, you know, Inkscape on, you know, a modern, you know, tablet PC, maybe running Linux, running latest version of Inkscape, and like, yeah, you can just use the pen on the tablet and the pen tool in the vector program, and you can just draw things, and then it'll figure out all of your Bezier curves for you. And this looks like it doesn't. Mike N says, what version are you using? I'm using mostly period correct. I'm using version 5. This is from 1993. So yeah, believe it or not, 93. Version 5. It looks like... I wonder if there's a setting I can do that'll make this... Let's look at the preferences. Let's put its preferences in our place. No, puts it in the Adobe place. Let's see. Not a lot there. Not a lot there. Auto trace gap, snap to point, transfer pattern dials, blah 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 blah. Precise cursors, area select. Yeah, there's not. Whoa, hello. Oh, that is totally me bumping the keyboard that this is sitting on top of. Let's see. I wonder if there is some. Maybe we have some tools. Toolbox, layers, info, paint style. We got there. More flip text. Maybe, oh, you know, maybe we just make freehand lines. Yeah, there we go. Well, that works. Just not the pen tool. Okay. So then we should be able to make some freehand shapes, and then this will figure out where my curve points should be. Does an okay job of it. I guess that's fine. What else do you want for 1993, right? Seems alright. Oops. What you should do for this, I think, is probably and let go, and yeah, let it close the heart for you. Works okay. This brush tool, though, I think this brush tool might be... That's not bad. It mostly gets it. Yeah, no, definitely. And if we go in to the object edit and zoom in a bit, just do a... Yeah, that's not so bad. Got some some auto-generated points in here. That's not the worst. Go in and edit them. It's not too bad. Oh, look at that. It's made it a closed shape. Huh. That's interesting. So it takes your brush stroke and it turns it into a closed shape rather than like a Bezier with like varied line width. I guess it's probably not a thing that this could do back in '93. Still not terrible though. Get some interesting shapes out of that though. Wow. That's kind of impressive, actually. A 30-year-old vector drawing program. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Mike N asks, is the tablet pressure sensitive? It is. I think as an Intuos, this should have 1024 pressure levels. Believe it or not. This is not bad for 1998, right? So how was actually size put it to? Oh, it's not too bad. Do zoom in one more time. That should fill our window. Yeah, it does. That's not terrible. Huh. Wow. Okay. So what other stuff can we do this in? Like, these are the two, obviously, you know, the two applications that you'd expect to use this in, right? Photoshop, Illustrator, stuff like that, Painter, Canvas, you know, CorelDRAW, stuff like that. That's normal. What if we try and play Doom with this? What happens? Oh, where is my Doom install? Did I not? I've got Doom on here, don't I? Clean up my name. How do I not have Doom on this thing? Oh, Ultimate Doom, right. It's in the U's because it's Ultimate Doom. Let's see what this does. Oh, yep. Let's switch to 8-bit color. Mike says 93 was a lot of pastels and animated GIFs. Oh yeah, no, y'all didn't see the you should take a look at this. The holder for the pen, for the stylus. Like this is like peak 90s. Let me swap over to the desk cam. You can see this. This is hilarious. Switch to desk cam. There we go. Right, so we got our stylus. Okay. Great. Look at this. Look at this stylus holder. Have you ever seen an object more 90s than this? Look at that. It's kind of a robin's egg blue. It looks a little more lavender on camera than it is. It's not lavender at all. Like, it would make sense to put this on, like, you know, right next to like a Spark Station. It's not the same, like, it's not the same accent color as a Spark Station, but like it's got the same kind of feel as one of those classic like pizza box Spark Stations. So 90s. So 90s. Alright, let's try and play some Doom on this thing, huh? This is gonna be, if this works, this is gonna be hilarious. Switch back to here. Yeah, like I said, the Sentra 610 is not fast. This is its Doom performance. You're talking about a 20 megahertz 68040 with no level 2 cache And there's no VGA acceleration in this. It's a pure bitmap display. It's got to stream pixels to the screen every time it wants to draw anything. It does not appear to do anything. To be fair, clicking doesn't do anything either. So let's hit escape. Let's do a new game. Sure. Okay, so we have mouse control? No. Let's turn on mouse control. Mouse. Okay, so it's what I kind of figured it was going to do. If you hold it in the center of the tablet. So the way these game engines work, right, is that it hides your cursor and then snaps it to the center of the screen. And every frame, when you move your mouse, in every frame it measures how far from center it moved and in what direction, and it translates that to the game engine, then snaps your cursor back to the center for the next frame. That's how mouse movement works in games like these. It's why it's always so sluggish when you have a low frame rate, because you're moving your mouse further, but it takes more frames for it to like update. So on the tablet, if we hold the mouse or we hold the pen close to the center of the tablet, we don't move. We don't move anywhere. And then as we move away from the center of tablet, our mouse cursor moves away from center. And yeah, if I take the pen right off the tablet, we're no longer updating the location of the tablet. We're no longer updating the location of the cursor with the pen. So it snaps it back to center, and there's no mouse input, so we stop moving, right? So if I just sort of bit on the far edge here, it's as if we've just taken the mouse and gone wah. Right? Because our virtual mouse cursor is way over on that edge of the screen. Doom sees that, says, "Oh, you moved the mouse really far. Let me move the viewport." So, the question is, can we play this? So mouse looks like it's only looking left and right. Let's see, if I tap with the pen, we do shoot the gun. So I'm running out of space over on this side. Let's put this over on my right side. I've got a little bit of space on the desk here. Do you have this map to WASD? I do. Oh, this is so wrong. This feels so wrong. Oh. Oh, man. Precise movement, this is not. I imagine it's a little bit like what one of those like human brain interface things feels like. You're like, move you put a bunch of electrodes on your head and you're like, move your left pinky to open the door. It's like, visualize steam to jump, huh? This is kind of like slightly move your hand and you might turn this corner. Oh, this feels so weird. Okay, open the door. Tapping on the tablet. Come on. Oh, this is bad. Here we go. Just hold down the trigger. Just drag the pen. We're marking them out. That's it. You've got a bad report. We got a bad grade on your report. Just imagine putting a big red line through these guys. Oh, this frame rate does not help. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Uh-oh. Things get a little weird when you're firing the gun, because I don't know why. Because you're holding, yeah, right? Like I'm holding the pen down. I'm gonna have to do this with my left hand, aren't I? So you all can see this. Oh, that's gonna be even funnier. Okay. Ha! First time. Okay. Let's do this. Hard mode. I'm not ambidextrous, so this is going to be very interesting. Oop. Tapped the pen. Okay. WASDA's on my right hand. Come on. Yeah, this is... My brain is messed up. Okay, so something weird happens when you start dragging the pen across the tablet. It seems like... It feels like it stops doing... The behavior changes. From when you just float the pen over the top of it. Just move with very small adjustments. Works fine. But when you're... I gotta try this. Get out of here. So I'm not being shot at. But if I... Okay, so... Give me the fists again so I don't waste ammo. If I hold down the pen... Yeah! Hold down the pen. Maybe you can see my hand in the desk cam. I move my hand, and my view moves, right? And then it stops moving. When I let go of the pen, now we're back to like the floating virtual cursor movement. Oh, that's weird. That is weird. This is awful. Oh boy. Doesn't help that we're doing like 5 FPS. Please stop, please stop, please stop. Got it. We're so slow that it takes like 2 frames to update how much armor you have. That's how slow we are here. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Clarjon with the winning super chat there. Takes new meaning. Gives new meaning to the term drawing your weapon. Indeed. I have never been so threatened by an imp in this game in my life. No! 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 I can't believe I'm running away from an imp, one of the lowest level enemies. Oh, I can't aim. This is easier on keyboard. Oh my gosh, Gut Bomb, use this as a motion controller in VR. That would be so awful. Oh, for sure. Mavunky's like, if I had access to this, if I had this computer and access to Doom, I would have played the heck out of it regardless. I mean, if we pause the shenanigans for a moment, like I played Doom Doom 2 on a system not too dissimilar to this. I played the original Doom on a 32X. Oh, he's back. But yeah, if we grab a mouse, things get a little easier to handle. Oh, not a lot. This mouse is real slow. But back in the day, I played on keyboard, so I was doing the number pad to like move and strafe and everything like that. But of course, if you want real performance in Doom, you gotta reduce the window size. Okay, what is up with this? Can I get my menus back, please? Pretty please? Apparently not. There we go. Switch it back to keyboard controls. What is small graphics? Oh, geez. Turbo? Is that just like a built-in auto run? That is a built-in auto run. Okay. Sure, we'll do turbo. One of the big things though is if I turn off the music is all software synthesized. So that should help a lot. Graphic detail. Normally, right, like normally you'd use F5 to switch it down into low-end graphics. On the Mac version, you get the doubled pixels that you would normally have as high graphic settings, and then you can go higher. You can have your pixels again horizontally and then have them vertically, so you're in like high resolution mode, like 640 by 480 high resolution mode. So that's a little better if we turn off the music. The CPU doesn't have to try and play the music and run the game at the same time. This is how I would have played this game. Honestly, I probably would have listened to the music, to the soundtrack, to the MIDI files, like when I wasn't playing Doom, just like loading them up in QuickTime Player or something. I got it. This this mouse sensitivity is absolutely awful. It's so low sensitivity. I have so little desk space to work with. Like complete liability. Although, if I just I can always use that to like whip around. Whip, whip, whip. So cursed. Oh, that was so cursed. What else could you use this for? Yeah, quit. Oh, that's what it was. Hello, welcome to the stream, Local 1. You're muted because you pressed space. Gotcha. I did, and I pressed space, thinking I was pressing it on the Vintage Machine's keyboard because I have both of these keyboards very close to each other. It's a little annoying. Okay, so I guess I wasn't probably muted for half of the stream. Hopefully. KidPix. I mean, it would work perfectly fine in KidPix, I would assume. Oh, got a KidPix won't set your monitor for you. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Get to see my desktop, my actual desktop background, because Decor didn't update. Let's do this. There we go. It's like, yeah, that's perfectly fine, right? That's what you wanted. Oh, it's just not going to do it now. Okay. If I turn it off, turn it back on. Oh, there we go. That works. Okay. Yeah, the System 7 didn't have a built-in desktop picture system, so you had to do it through some other piece of software. The one I used back in the day was Decor because it seemed pretty okay. All right, let's run some KidPix. Classic. Those colors! Look at those colors. Okay, so this should be a walk in the park, right? Yeah, absolutely. No problems here. Let's see. Of course it doesn't know what stylus pressure is, but I'm not super surprised about that. That makes sense. Stamp tool, you can always drag stamps around, I think. Yeah, sorta. It's gotta play the sound effect once every time you do it. But yeah, like, and it's so responsive. Like, KidPix was always really responsive. Yeah, okay. Not bad. KidPix works, that makes sense. I don't think that was anybody's oh, before we leave, we gotta blow it up, right? Let's get our eraser. Very important. All right, that I think is probably not a surprise that worked. Okay, what else? Close my control panels here. Oxide would be another one that would be really weird to play on this, because in the normal game, I don't know if y'all know about Oxide. But you control a little marble with your mouse. I think it was originally made for the ST, I think. So you move your mouse around, and that lets you move this marble around. It's a similar idea, right? Like, it hides the mouse cursor, however far you move it per frame, it measures that distance, and then moves, it applies a velocity to the ball, and that's how the ball moves. It's not like a direct one-to-one, right? Like if I just like wail on the mouse, the ball doesn't move as you'd expect it to be a mouse cursor. It applies some force to the ball based on what direction you move it in. So if we get out the tablet, I would expect something similar to happen as with Doom. Yes, and if you get into the corner of the tablet, it goes a little bit crazy. That's funny. That's funny. Ended up dropping my extra lives, which I really don't want to do. Oh, oh, no, stay away from me. It works pretty well until it doesn't. Once you get near the edges of the tablet, it really stops making sense. So you end up snapping into a corner. Until then, though, because it's resetting the cursor position every time, it's a pretty linear translation of your hand movement to the ball movement. It's kind of funny. Yeah, until you get like halfway to the edge of the corner. And then things just go completely haywire. That's funny. That works better than I thought it would. And now you can see what the objective of this game is. If you haven't played this before, you just need to match colors. Match all the colors, you go to the next level. And there's that little spinner there that wants to break me apart, and I'm going to say nope. But it progresses as you would expect most games to do. You get there's lasers and there's blocks that disappear and reappear, and I think I don't remember this is out for the Amiga or the Atari ST first, but yeah. That's playing games on hardware not intended for those games. So you can see we've got a blue down in this corner, we've got a red in this corner that we need to get. And in order to get there, turn on that laser, which blows up those blocks. There we are. That is Oxide, and there's boy, this game is old. There was a level editor for it for a long time. I think the number of levels for this game, both in the official capacity and with third-party levels, numbers in the thousands. If you like this game, there's lots of levels for it, lots and lots of levels. So this one's cool. We've got a mirror here. You can adjust the angle of, and then of course if you hit it, you can move it one block over. We've got a laser over here. We can fire. You can see that will activate one of those blocks. Anyway, that is Oxide. Oxide's surprisingly playable on the tablet until you get too far towards the edge of the tablet. That's funny. That is funny. What else? Oh yeah, no, I played this the other day on stream. The best Star Trek game that's not a Star Trek game. This is Rescue. Let's get all of our stuff where they need to be. Our windows, status windows, game text, the command console. This should play pretty nicely with the tablet because we can just... Oh, we're already under attack. Oh boy. So we should just be able to... Oh no. Let's see. Got it. Alright. Just have to tap on stuff, really. There we go. Let's go down there. Let's go warp 5. Let's get down there a little quicker. Power down the shields until we see the whites of their eyes. Save some energy. Okay. Good luck, Clarjean. They're taking their sweet time to get to us. Maybe they aren't coming for us, they're coming for that, that starbase. Give me nearest outpost. Yes, go. Gotcha. Mostly works. It's a little bit clunky. But you could, you know, if you got these buttons in the same spot all the time, you could definitely make that muscle memory. They're heading our way. Let's go find them. Yes, exactly. Local one says this is a distant similarity to escape velocity. Absolutely. Oh, I just took a photon torpedo with no shields up. Dang! How are we doing? Probably not great, huh? Let's go nearest starbase. Menus suck on this. It's not a fun thing to do. Nearest starbase. Let's go warp 7. Let's get up there. We need to recharge and repair. Dock with starbase. Alright, there we go. We are full on energy. Do we have any of these things left? Looks like we've got one in the corner here. Let's go ruin their day. Warp 9. Rudy's Retro Intel's here. Hello. Also Francois Raval. Hello. Welcome, welcome. We are playing games with a graphics tablet. You really shouldn't be playing games with. It's working surprisingly well, though. Gotcha. That's it. All enemy vessels destroyed. Heck yeah. Yeah, no, this is a fun little game. And yeah, it does feel a little bit like Escape Velocity. So yeah, that looks like it works pretty well. Cool. Rudy says, "Who needs Kirk when we have you?" Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Rudy. What else? What else? What else? What else? We tried Doom with it. I imagine Marathon would be more of the same. Just run a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, Warcraft would probably run pretty well on this. I don't think I have the CD image for it though. I don't think it'll run. Oh yeah, just to do some silly stuff, tablet or not. I don't know if you all seen the 68K port of Quake. This is over on, I forget what the GitHub is, but somebody recompiled this for Motorola 68000 processors. It'll run on 68030 or 040 with a floating point unit, and it's fun! Yeah, it runs about as well as you'd expect. To be fair, like, considering how badly Doom ran, the fact that this runs like this, kind of impressive. Kind of impressive. Oh, thank you, Klarjan. With graphics like these, Doom fans will be quaking in their boots. Let's do a... I'm inputting keyboard controls too quickly for this to get it. There we go. That's how you know it's going slow. You have to adjust your typing speed to the frame rate. Okay. Oh boy. So if we shrink the viewport, again, adjust the key presses to the frame rate, doesn't really help because most of the issue is that we're on a 20 megahertz 68040. Although considering just a little bit too much vertex data for this thing to process. Oh boy. That 8 kilobytes of level 1 level 1 cache is having a bad time. There we go. Okay. Oh, and it messes up my palette too. Thanks. Thanks so much. Alright. So, I wonder what we could, like, make with this. I don't have a terrific setup for like, creating on this machine, unfortunately. Like, you can see, you know, this is my desk area. The machine itself takes up a pretty large portion of it, despite this being a very small machine. I specifically, this is the case that I designed and printed for the Centrus 610. So I've got like a Centrus 610 motherboard in here. This case is very nearly just the footprint of the 610's motherboard, with the addition of about an inch and a half at the top here for this handle, so that you can carry it around. It's real small, and it still takes up a lot of space on this desk. I just don't have enough desk at this point, honestly. But I bet we can make some stuff with this. I bet. The biggest issue is, like, where do I put it? I've already got this Oh, it just kicked over the stylus stand. I've got this. That really doesn't want to stay in there. Stay. So I've got this this keyboard on a keyboard stand that's above my it's above my streaming PC's keyboard. Of course, I had the cursed thought of, well, what if I just put more stand on top of my stand, and then I can have the drawing tablet on top of that? I think that's probably a bad idea. It'd be funny, but not a great idea. Local Ones is even quitting as an ordeal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 68K Quake is not a good time. It's not a good time. What else? I think, yeah, Spectre is all keyboard based. Bolo would play similarly to Rescue because it's got there's some mouse stuff to do. It's mostly keyboard. Yeah, right. Yo, dog, I heard you like stands, so stand in your stand. Put a keyboard stand on your keyboard stand, so you can keyboard while you keyboard. What was on this CD anyway? Painter Classic Installer. What are you? That's Painter Classic. Meta Creations, Painter Classic. Let's try this. I don't know what this is. This is the CD. This is the CD image that these Wacom drivers come with. I have no idea what Meta Creations Painter... Oh. It says continue. Try it. It says it needs 7.5. It probably doesn't. Sure. The files in each other are... No, they're not. They're definitely not already on the disk. Interesting. Let's do Painter Classic minimum install. Let's put you on the stuff folder. There we go. I figured that one out. Weird. What is this? Meta Creations Painter Classic? I don't know what this is. But yeah, this is over here in these English, French, Spanish, Portuguese folders. That's where the drivers are for the Wacom tablet. That's the ones that actually work with this one are in there. Painter Classic. Oh yeah. Oh, Local One, yeah. Playing Quake 68K reminds me of playing the first Quake demo on my 486 way back when. Yeah, that was giving me those vibes too. Absolutely. And try and fire it up on a DX33 and just it had an equally bad time. There was a while back on YouTube, I think maybe it was it CPU Galaxy who was running the contest? Oh, Mavunky, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I will endeavor to continue creating awesome content. Thank you. I think a couple of years back, maybe for lockdown, just to have something to do. I think CPU Galaxy hosted a Quake 486 speed bench or whatever, a contest to see how fast You could get Quake to go on a 486. I think was it CPU Galaxy? I don't remember. But I think there's also the same person did a Doom ISA graphics card contest to see like who could get Doom to go the fastest on only an ISA, not VLB, not PCI, not AGP, just an old ISA VGA card. Like who could get it to go the fastest? Yeah, the Quake, that's it. Yeah, thank you, Mivunky. Yes, it was CPU Galaxy. The Quake Race 486. Yes, exactly. I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool. That would be so cool. Well, this installs, let me show you something I found on eBay for, it's probably broken amounts of money. Hopefully it's not broken, but that was what it cost. Let me show you. This is a PC-104 industrial PC, which uses an actual 486. Most of these that you see that use like this, obviously this is a system on a chip. You know, you've got some additional I/O here in this chip, but this is a system on a chip from AMD. But they do use one of their 486DX4 cores. I think this one runs at 100 megahertz, which is pretty cool. Obviously, yes, you see by my pinky here, there is a PCI connector. This is a PC104 Plus board. And then this is the PC104 connector, which carries power and 16-bit ISA. You've got 8-bit ISA on the small part of the connector and 16-bit ISA on the large part of the connector. I can't wait to get this thing running. I hope it works. Like I said, I paid very little for this comparatively. If you've ever gone searching for these on eBay, they're super expensive. This one was very cheap. I hope it works. But I've always wanted to have like a silly 486 PC104 machine. And just to give you an idea of how small this thing is, like when it arrived, I was like, wow, really? That's how small it is. You can't internalize the size of it until you really see it. But like, this is an iPhone 10, so this is a small iPhone next to the PC104 machine. You can see just how small that is. Tiny. Absolutely tiny. Do I have... yeah, okay, so if I... Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's smaller lengthwise than a Sega Genesis cartridge, just to give you an idea how small this thing is, really. It's just tiny. It's so tiny. On the backside we've got not a whole lot. You've got obviously the receiving pins for those two carriers, or for those two connectors. And we've got the SODIMM here for 128 megs of PC 133 SD RAM. Way overkill for a 486, but you know, that's how these things go. I don't think there's anything under the RAM. If I pop it out of here, I don't think there's anything there. You can see there's a pad in here. You can see there's a pad up there near the PCI slot. That looks like that's probably for onboard flash that is unfortunately unpopulated. I wonder if I could get like one of those Intel flash modules, like a 16 megabyte flash module, and stick it in there. It'd be kind of fun. Have DOS built into it. Be kind of neat. Okay, looks like our install is done. I apologize for any background noise. There's an ice cream truck parked under my window. Freaking annoying. Alright, let's flop back to the capture card. There we go. Yep. Okay, so installation was successful. Let's see what we got. That went on to stuff folder. Painter Classic. Let's see what you do, friend. Oh, you give me an error negative 192. Thank you. That's lovely. Are you PowerPC only? 10 megs of RAM. Yeah, you probably are, huh? 1999. I bet that is. Funky is just providing background tunes. Well, it says it supports Photoshop. Huh. Photoshop 4 plugins. Maybe that's API 4.0. Copyright 1998. That would be a year to, you know, not offer a 68K version of this app, but that's impressive, Glajan. Finally got a non-crypto ad on Telegram. Wow. Yeah, no, I think this is just it's a PowerPC only app. That's kind of funny. It's so weird. It does make me wonder, like, where are the really old Wacom tablets, right? Like, where are the pre-Intuos tablets? The ones from, you know, 1990, from 1987. I think Wacom was still making tablets that early, but they had to have been, right? They've been around forever. I think they had a version of their tablet that would work with, like, the Mac Plus, I think, that would plug into the mouse port, maybe into the serial port. That's probably it. They made serial tablets for a long time. It was probably a serial tablet. Yeah, exactly. Gupalm 7 ADB one from 94. Nice. Yeah, this one is from, as far as I can tell, this is from 1998. I thought it was from earlier, but no, I think it's from 98. Let's see. What else? So that won't work. I'm so glad these drivers worked. I was so worried they were going to be PowerPC only. Oh, are there any options? I haven't looked at the control panel. Well, I guess there's a reason I'm not looking at the control panel. Ah. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, honestly. Mavunky says it's a shame that Apple never brought out an 060 before switching over to PowerPC. That would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. This does make me want to get my PowerMac 8600 up and running again. That machine is silly. I picked up the 8600. I picked up on eBay for, or is it 80? No, it's an 8500. It's the earlier version. It's the Quadra 800 case, which is god awful to work on. I picked it up on eBay for like $50 with who knows, it's marked as not working. They turned it on, no video. The 8500 has It's got composite video input. So on the back of it, you'd see some composite jacks for video input. And I'm thinking, the only thing I can imagine is that the seller tried to plug a TV into the composite input jack and then turned it on and it didn't do anything. Because of course it wouldn't. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, no, exactly. I like it. Other than the case being absolutely awful to like open up and get into, it's great. So it's an 8500 120, and I picked it up on eBay. It arrived. The case is in shambles. There's lots of broken plastic inside it, and then I open it all up. I unseat all the RAM, stick it all back in, unseat the processor card, stick it back in just to make sure like everything is nice and tight together and happy. Turn it on, and it boots right up. Works perfectly. Absolutely wild. And then it turns out it didn't have the 120 megahertz 604 that it came with stock. It had some, I don't know where it came from. It's not Apple branded. The card has no Apple branding on it whatsoever, but it's a 233 megahertz 604E in it. And that worked great. Flew. I mean, it's got some PCI slots. I put a Rage 128 in it. What else did I put in it? I think I put a SATA controller in it. Like it's wild. It's got a 10100 Ethernet card in it. It's quite the machine. I kind of missed it. I would like it back. It's the motherboard is out to BBB for recap, but this is definitely making me want to use it. I think. Let's see. What I might do is I need a machine with ADB that's PowerPC. I've got a Beige G3. I think that's got an ADB port on it. I don't remember if the Beige G3 has 2 or 1. Because this has a pass-through. There's a pass-through ADB port, so you can plug a keyboard into this. ADB, Apple Desktop Bus, is an actual bus. So this mouse is plugged into the keyboard that's plugged in here. Right, so there's the mouse is plugged into the keyboard. Keyboard plugs into the computer. It's a big daisy chain. It's a big happy bus. But I believe I can try it. We're here on stream. I believe if I plug this in to the bus, it takes too much power. I'm pretty sure. Let's give it a try. So we'll turn this off. Like, I can talk out of my butt, or I can actually, like, try it. Because we've got the machine here. Let's unplug the tablet. So you can see we've got, let me switch over to the desk cam. You can see what I'm looking at here. Yep, the ice cream truck is going around the neighborhood. But you can see, like, this would plug into the computer or into whatever other ADB thing you have on the bus. And then you've got an output cable. And you can see, like, that's not sophisticated, right? Like, this is just... It's just a plain bus. All the devices on the bus communicate at the same time because it's a bus, right? It's a signaling bus. So if we plug this in, let's say I'll plug this in at the end of the keyboard, right? Where my mouse is currently plugged in. So unplug the mouse. Bring this over and show y'all. Keyboard, this is the wonderful Apple standard keyboard. Got those lovely Alps keys in there. So plug this in. So that's at the end of the ADB chain. And then I'll plug my mouse into that little pigtail. And let's see if it works. Because if I can daisy chain it off of one ADB plug, then I could use it like with my PowerBook 5300. Let's boot this up, see what happens. Switch over to the capture card. That's what I thought. John says just one ADB on the Beige G3. Gutbomb says run BOS on that. I have. On my 8500? Yes, indeed, I have run BOS on it. It runs great. It also has a trick up its sleeve, because once I got the thing up and running, right, with that 233 megahertz card, I'm like, well, I want the original CPU that it had, because just for completeness, it's a PowerMac 8500 120. I want the 120. Found that on eBay for $10, so picked up that card, and then just for grins, looking around on eBay one night, and I find a G3 upgrade card for it. Very cheap, considering what G3 upgrade cards usually go for. It was very inexpensive. And hey, my mouse is working just fine. And if I get out the pen here, that pen is also working fine. So no, actually, it's fine. We can use this on a single ADB system. That's great. That's fantastic. Make sure our keyboard still works. There you go. Anybody get that reference? I'm sure y'all get that reference. Ah, Discat is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yep, we got a big beige Wacom, and it works. It's working great. We have been trying it in a variety of things. Obviously, Photoshop Illustrator works perfectly fine. Works great in KidPix, which I guess isn't really that surprising, but it is fun. You can also play Doom with it for certain applications of the word play. And of course, it works very well for any games that are point and click. Since you have, direct mapping of any point on the screen, you can get, if you build up a muscle memory, you can get to buttons and things very easily that way. At this point, not sure what else to do with this machine. Mostly just reminiscing about the good old days, and kind of wishing that I had a PowerPC here to run some of these things a little faster. But since this tablet apparently is from 1998, I had no idea. Like it looks way older than it actually is. But this is apparently 1998 vintage. I didn't realize that Wacom was still making ADB tablets back in '98. Like I knew they were making tablets, but I figured they had switched to USB almost exclusively, like pretty much everyone else had. But I guess, there must have been a market for it. People with, beige G3s or high-end 9500s. Like I was just talking about my 8500 with the G3 upgrade card in it. It really flies. It's a very fast machine. And yeah, having a graphics tablet like this for that would have been great. Especially ADB, because then you wouldn't have to upgrade the machine to macOS 8.6 or 9 to get USB support, out of a card that you had plugged into the machine. Need to fly some planes with a stylus. Oh boy, that sounds like a bad time. Oh, Gutbomb. Gutbomb's gonna try his tablet in a Dark Souls challenge run. That should be very funny. That should be very, very funny. That'll be great. Oh, nice. Yeah, not a whole lot left to do on this one. I wonder if I can just... Can I be creative on demand and just, do something in Photoshop here quick? Maybe I'll do it in Illustrator. Photoshop was very pokey. Oh, you know what? I've got... Yeah, ClarisWorks. Let's do this in an Office program. The one that's totally not designed to use this at all. I say a terrible old Office suite, but ClarisWorks is pretty great. If you never had the pleasure of using this back in the day to like write reports for school or for work, it was pretty okay. It was pretty okay. Uh-oh. What are you set to for memory usage? Look at the size of it. What? Okay, hang on. So this obviously got installed with a default amount of memory allocated to it, which is silly. Oh yeah. Wow. 975K. Can you imagine running an Office suite in less than 1 megabyte of RAM? Nowadays. No way. There's no way. A full Office suite in less than a meg of RAM. Absolutely bonkers. Let's give you 8 megs. See what you do with it. We've got some free RAM on this machine. Wow. Less than a meg. Ah, that's just... Oh man, oh man. Heady days. Hey, there we go. That's a little bit more drawable area. That's nicer. Let's see what we can do with this thing. Let's grab... Do we have a... Yeah, it's kind of a paintbrush, right? Looks like a paintbrush. Let's take one of these weird pinks that are kind of orange. It has no concept of stylus pressure, which makes sense. Okay. What if I do the freehand line tool? Well, look at that. That's not bad. It does also turn it into shapes. Makes sense. Kiki and Booba. And this probably... Yeah, basically does the same thing as it did in Illustrator. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Discat says I used to doodle those filled curves in MS Paint a lot. Yeah. Say we make that a little lighter and we can do a... I don't think this has... Yeah, we've got... Basically, yeah, not a whole lot when it comes to brush selection. There we go. You just double click it. Unfortunately, it does not change it with stylus pressure. But again, way more responsive than Photoshop was. I suppose we should probably show that to Discat, huh? See just how bad. Excuse me, just how bad Photoshop really was. Excuse me. Rawr. Oh, and Klarja 1 Plus is out. It's good to see ya. That is so... I can't wait, Gupom, for your graphics tablet in Dark Souls. It's the Dark Souls of Dark Souls. It's a little pokey. We'll just do the defaults. And our screen is slowly deteriorating because we're running in 8-bit color mode, and that is a palletized color mode. So as Photoshop messes with the palette, wow, really? There we go. As Photoshop messes with the palette, 1,000%, that's not what I wanted. Things behind, applications and pictures behind Photoshop start to get a little weird. You can see we've got some dithering artifacts here from running in 8-bit color mode. So, you see how pokey it is. It's not quick. But there's definitely stylus pressure support. Like some actually pretty good stylus pressure support. You can be very, very light touch with this. You have a very heavy touch, and it responds appropriately. It's not bad. Not bad. Like I can get on my Linux machine, on it's a Dell tablet PC from like 2012. I think I can get like 4, maybe 6 levels of sensitivity out of it. It's just like it's an Intrigue digitizer. It's not really meant for drawing. It's meant for like docu-signing documents and stuff. It's still, capable. I use it for sketching. It works great for that. This is like luxurious levels of pressure sensitivity. Like this is real good. And of course we've got the default stylus on here, but this came in basically new packaging, including, where did I put it? There it is. Including like a large selection of styli and nibs for it. And we've got different, I'm going to spill them all over. We've got different ends on them. We've got different, like this is a brass carrier tube with a plastic nib. We've got what looks like a steel stylus, steel all the way through. Very interesting. What else we got in here? Looks like another. Well, that's interesting. There's another steel one, but it's got a. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a little ball on the end of it. I think it's supposed to be like a ballpoint pen. The other one is not quite needlepoint, but it's, oh yeah, no, there it is. It's got a little plastic ball on the end of it, like a ballpoint pen. That's kind of cool. And then we've got another spare brass with plastic sharp nib. Kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. This is circa 1998. So it's actually not as old as I thought it was going to be when I picked it up. That's another one with the ballpoint. But still, sophisticated. Surprisingly sophisticated. A lot of the features that we get in modern graphics tablets are already here 30 years ago. Like, I think the major innovation in graphics tablets is probably just, building a screen into the tablet, Other than that, it seems like they've been basically the same for the last 3 decades. It's kind of wild to think about. Oh, Joe is here from Joe's Computer Museum. Hello, Joe. I'm actually going to shut down the stream here pretty quick, because it has been about it's just about 2 hours. We're at about 1 hour and 45 minutes. What else can we do? Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, by the way, if you didn't know, Joe runs jcn-1.com. where you can buy all sorts of cool retro computer gadgets, including blue SCSIs, as well as my 3D printable test benches. If you don't have your own 3D printer, you can buy them printed from Joe. He does a great job. He's got a whole little fleet of awesome printers. And he just, he takes care. He's a good guy. Takes care of those prints, make sure that they come out looking just right. Head on over there and have a look. jcm-1.com. Joe, I wanted to ask, how are the tariffs affecting you? Is it bad? Like we're hearing about stuff from like Adafruit getting hit with a gigantic tariff bill. Have you been seeing anything bad from your neck of the woods? Oh, John says you've inspired me to work on a Quadro motherboard. You're welcome, John. Good luck with it. They're awesome. I love the 68040s. Oh no. That's super bad. Joe says the tariffs suck. Something that used to cost $10 now costs $25 to $27. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Unbelievable. That is literally 150%, huh? Literally 150% additional cost. Take a $10 thing and make it, add $15 to it. Good Lord. Image scribblers will be at least $10 more when they go back on sale. So, image scribblers, if you don't know, the image scribbler is a cool re-implementation of the the Apple Local Talk adapter card for the image writer. If you know the Apple image writer, the big dot matrix printer that did text and graphics, came out in like the Apple II days, like at the very end of the Apple II days, and it's a really, really neat workhorse printer. You can definitely keep them running these days. They're definitely still kicking out there. But there's an option board you can put, you open the front of the thing, you can put in an option board for running it on a local network with, you just do a 2GS, but also Macintoshes. And then you could print to it as a network printer. And the image scribbler is a cool re-implementation of that because those original network cards were not super popular back in the day. Most folks were, I think when they came out, they were really expensive, and most people, could just plug the printer into your computer and share it that way, right? Like you don't need a network dot matrix printer, Nice. Yes, exactly. Image Scribbler is a great way to get one of those in there if you've got an image writer too. Exactly. Yeah, gut bomb. Yeah, all those American-made capacitors and resistors at the zero factories in this country that still exist that make them. Exactly. I remember this screensaver. Exactly. Image Scribbler and Local Squawk. Exactly. What else we got on here? It includes sound. That would be a great way to super annoy your coworkers. Fitty Factory Dominoes. Oh, it plays its own game of dominoes. Wow. Nice. Down the drain. I remember this one. This is great. Oh, well, that's unfortunate to hear, Joe. And I saw Ron's video about how tariffs are going to ruin the retro computing hobby. I sure hope they don't. I sure hope that these are turned around relatively quickly, but I don't know. Like, the thing is, Trump's ego is that he's positioning these as like the U.S. getting back at China, and like, it's not. We pay the tariffs. Like, China doesn't pay any of these. China doesn't care, basically. Like, yes, our China's shipments to the U.S. have lowered since the tariffs went into effect, because we Americans can't afford that much stuff from China. It's that expensive. But China doesn't just exist to serve the U.S. Like, China's a major economic superpower. I don't know if, y'all realize that over there in Washington, but China basically doesn't care that that we've taken the stick and we put it in our front wheels. Because they're just going to sell stuff to other countries like they have been doing for the last several decades. Hopefully he comes to his senses and reverses the tariffs, but I'm not holding my breath for it to over on Twitter or over on Twitch is saying, please, China, send cheap retro stuff to Europe. We can keep it at my house. Yes, send it all to Fortis. I think she can get good use out of it. Yeah, I think that's honestly, Joe, I think that's most folks when they saw these tariffs and how much they were going to be. I think to the extent that there was a noticeable uptick in shipments right before May, right in like March and April. Everybody was stocking up before these tariffs hit, and hopefully your stock lasts. Fingers crossed. So everybody run over there and buy some stuff from Joe, but also like don't buy too much because he might run out. And but buy things from him because that's how it's how he supports himself. But also like don't buy too much because he might not have any left, and it's complicated. It's complicated. It's not a position I want to be in these days. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Joe says, buy things so I can put the dollar dues in the bank and hold on to them for ramen noodles. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize how many screensavers I had on here. This is kind of silly. Huh, I wonder if I have a... God Mandelbro. What about... Da, da, da. Huh. Y'all know about Lunatic Fringe, by the way? Lunatic Fringe is a screensaver for After Dark that's actually a game. Nope, does not run in demo mode. Fine. We'll just turn it on. But yeah, Lunatic Fringe is it's a game. If you want to play it, you press caps lock to start it up. Otherwise, I think it'll do demo mode. John says Lunatic is also my kitty's name. That's awesome. So it looks like we've got keypad controls, fire is command, shield is space. Well, I guess it's not going to jump into demo mode, so let's enter the fringe. It's kind of like a very large version of asteroids. Apparently not. I can't blow apart the asteroids. Let's see what we can do here. We've got a health pickup. Got stuff trying to kill me. Well, I'm dead. That didn't take long. Whoops, that blows me up. Space is supposed to be shield, but it's not doing anything. Maybe I haven't picked up any shield yet. What are you floating around in space? Cool. It'll refill me automatically. It's been a long time since I played this. Can I hurt this thing? I don't think I can. Oh, it's an enemy spawner. No, I bet I can't. Uh-oh. Am I out of fuel? No, I'm not out of fuel. It's damaged enough that I... Oh, the spinny thing. I got hit by the spinny thing. Keeps me from controlling the ship. But that is Lunatic Fringe. It's a game you play in your screensaver, because that makes sense, right? It's entirely keyboard-based, so unfortunately we can't play that with the tablet, but the Doom was actually surprisingly capable. I was not expecting that to be as playable as it was. I mean, it wasn't playable, but like it wasn't the worst. Anyway, let's shut things down here, and I'm gonna switch over to the ACAM, and thank y'all for coming. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the last couple of hours. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't really have a lot of idea what to do with this stream, but I'm super glad that this thing actually works. You know, like this is. I have plans for this. This is going to be fun. I'm very glad that it actually functions. Yeah. For next week, I think we're going to skip streaming next week because partner and I are going to go to the DMV, get some stuff taken care of with documentation, and I think it's probably going to take all day because I mean it's the DMV. Why would it not take all day, right? But then we'll be back to streaming week after that, and yeah, hopefully I'll see y'all then, huh? I appreciate it, y'all. I'm glad you joined up. Glad you got to see this, and glad you had fun. So take care, and may may the PC parts be ever in your favor. Have a good night. Where is the end key? There it is. Talk to y'all later.